Praise and power. How are you doing today? They got this message up here that always, I wonder why they don't do these things. You know what I'm saying? Before we go live. Like before I'm live, when you see me logging on, send me the message. Don't send it when I'm live and I'm looking. Okay, we're here. Welcome to another moment of harmony. I am so happy for us. We're in the real time here on a Saturday. We're having a Saturday moment, and if you live in Baltimore in the DMV area, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Saturday. We have had some really gray, really like stormy, rainy days. I know coming up off of the back of Ophelia. And it's just been like gray and dark and gloomy the whole week. And we've had a couple of glimmers of things looking up. But we've been waiting for some days that look bright and show us the beautiful leaves changing colors and all of this jazz. And it's happening today. So I'm so excited. My mood is definitely boosted to be here for a moment with you all. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for being present, and thank you for taking some of the sunshine in your day and bringing here and putting it here in the energy with us. Okay, we are in a 33-week reflection series. I'm so happy for us to continue on as we continue to look back at it and go back in our past, go back in our journey, go back on our path in a way that is going to be beneficial to us, in a very spiritually responsible way, in a very healing and growing way, with the intention of learning, unlearning, relearning, and becoming. Right? And you all have been very faithful with that journey. So I'm very, very grateful for those that are tuning in, those that are giving their energy, contributing to the algorithm, liking, sharing. I mean, it is all just providing the world a moment, right? And at the end of the day, sometimes we just need a moment. So thank you for continuing to share this love out to all that you know are in need of a moment. Those that need a reminder about how important they are, about how beautiful life is, and about how growth is the answer to the next level, right? To getting us where we want to go. So thank you for growing with me, for exchanging with me, and for taking your moments with your girl. I'm super happy about it. And as we get ready to go ahead and get into today's session, which is entitled Reflect on Your Day Ones. Reflect on your day ones. This is a special moment. Because a lot of our moment work is about internal work. It's always about the internal. We have very few sessions that are about the external because we believe that the external is internally driven. So more of our work is about what's going on inside, about us, about self, about what we are in control of, about the responsibility and accountabilities on self. But today, we are going a little bit external with our healing and how to externally and responsibly appreciate those parts of our lives, those extensions of ourselves, our day ones. So this is a major component to your healing and your growth. It's those people who have known you the whole journey. So we can't talk about how important the journey is without really delving into, my voice always does the crazy things when I get to talking. I'm sitting up in here quiet and reading and all of this, and then as soon as I get to talking, it does whatever it wants to do. Mommy mercy, right? But reflecting on our day ones, we can't look at the journey. We can't always get focused on the journey in a way that we don't take into account those energies on our path that have been sent on the path with special and direct missions, without looking at those people who have walked the journey with us. They are just as important as the journey itself, and they also are reflections of the journey. And for those of us who have very healthy relationships, close and unconditional loving relationships with others, they not only are a reflection of the journey, but they become great reflectors to who and what and where we are at all times and all places on the journey. So today we're going to reflect on our day ones. We're going to look back to those people those individuals, those entities, those groups, those institutions that have been there on the journey, as we've been journeying, as we've been growing and changing and becoming, and they've been a part of every level, and they've been instrumental to the foundation. And we're going to look at it appropriately and responsibly, just what is intentionally, that's the word I want to go for, intentionally be able to look back over the journey to say, what was it that I was supposed to gather about my day one, about the people, about the we factor, about the us factor? What was it that I was supposed to hone in on, and what is it that I should be keeping as I continue to grow and evolve? Okay, so looking back on our day ones, whoop whoop, shout out to all the day ones, however far back, whatever your first day you're going back to, because the beginning starts many, there's many journeys in our lives, there's many levels to who we are. And so there's day ones to all the levels. You know, there's a beginning, but there is much to be said about the beginning of you. There's much to be said, much to be acquired, much to be honed in on about the beginnings of you, of your thoughts, of your behaviors, of your character, of your process. So you can go back on your day ones, all of them, on each level, in each chapter of yourself, and see page one. Who was here? Who is the wind beneath my wings? You know, who was my motivation? Who was my push? Who was the muse of the creator? I need to reflect when I'm wanting to heal, when I'm wanting to grow, and when I'm wanting to become. I need to be able to go into a place of reverence for my roots. I need to be able to go into when I'm looking for myself, when I'm looking to connect with myself. I want to look into those people that easily connect with me, right? Because I'm trying to get to know me. I'm trying to get to love me. And there's people that know you. There are people that love you. There are people that have had unconditional love around you. And I know my day ones, when I talk to them, when I'm in sacred exchange with them, there are things about myself that I can't always see. Whether that's good or bad. There are things about myself, but not only things that I can't see or things that I don't necessarily realize, but there's also the way that an outside force or outside perspective can help put you internally into perspective. And I have some beautiful day ones who know how to talk my language. Listen, there aren't a lot of people that speak harmony, but I got some people that speak harmony, and it has saved my life. It saved my life that people can speak my language, that people understand me. I always am talking about how I feel like I'm one of the most misunderstood people that you just can't really always wrap your head around. The things that go on in my mind and the way that life unfolds for me is just like, you know, you can't make this stuff up type of thing. And when people and my loved ones can see me, truly see me, understand, like literally understanding me is the greatest gift that anyone could ever give to me, because it's probably gonna be the hardest thing you ever did. So it's a love language for me that you took the time to understand and that you get it. And it adds to my healing. It adds to my placement. It adds to me being able to see myself through pure and loving and just eyes of divinity. It helps me to see that. So it's that way for everyone. It's that way for everyone. So today we're going to look back on revering your roots. We're looking back at our day ones, guys. We're going back, we're reflecting, we are revering, we are just like going back to explore those root connections and what they mean for us today, what they mean for future connections, what they mean for people that we may be struggling with today, what they mean for energies that are trying to attach themselves to us now as we're growing and we're healing and we're finding ourselves. Like, you know, how do your root connections really assist with that. And always having that home space allows you to explore courageously. Always having a home space allows you to take those risks. It allows you to try new things. It allows you to go out and see the big old world, knowing that you should have no fear. You'll always have root connections. And the day ones are so, so good for that. I know that no matter how big of a platform or big of a scale a Moment of Harmony grows to, or whatever idea I come up with for a Moment of Harmony in the future, I know I can't go wrong with people who love me right. You got that? I can do no wrong. I am fearless and I am courageous and I am explorative and I am all of these things because I know that love for me is unconditional in so many ways. Now, that doesn't mean everybody loves you unconditional, and it doesn't mean everybody doesn't want to, see you fall or isn't there for you or isn't rooting for you, that people aren't broken and hurt and they still have the ability to break and hurt other people. I'm not talking about those people. Those aren't the people we're talking about. Those energies, as they are on their own life path, will exist. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have people that I'm very close to that are in their 60s and going upwards in that direction. And even my grandmothers are both still alive. And I just know that the drama and the pettiness and the low vibration, it doesn't necessarily go anywhere. It's not it that goes anywhere. It's you that goes somewhere. So you can still be dealing with that type of energy in life and exploring life and becoming. But you can go to another level within yourself. You can go to another level within your reality where that's like, you know what I'm saying? No one worries about it. I don't worry about anything because my roots are solid. My roots are solid. And my day ones are amazing. And you all know who you are. Some of them are related to by blood. Some of them we just related by love. And that's enough. Bars. But the day one thing is a serious thing. So we're going to revere our roots by reflecting on the day ones. Shout out to all of them. This subject just makes me feel so happy because, again, there's so many levels to this healing journey. There's so many levels to getting your life where you want it to be. There's so many levels to loving and growing within yourself. Growth is infinite. I'll never stop growing. I'll never stop learning. I'll never stop being. And when I think about just the art of learning myself, the beauty in getting to know me and spending time with me, because I'm learning God, I'm knowing God, the more that I do that, and it just makes me excited. And there's so many ways to get lost on this journey. There's so many, because literally you plug yourself into something, it becomes an outlet for you, but it also transmutes energy to you. So we plug ourselves into so many things, looking for ourselves, finding ourselves. We'll invest. When I say plug in, we'll invest and expose our spirit and our energy to so many things in an attempt to grow and become. And some of these things deplete you. Some of these things exploit you. Oh my God. Sometimes you just look back like, I'm done. I'm done taking the risks. I'm done trying to grow. I'm done trying to learn myself. I'm done trying to understand all of this. Throw it all away. But the day ones, right? I just really hope I can get to this whole show without getting emotional. This whole thing just really, the day ones, the people that love you through pain, that love you when you don't look like yourself, that show you that what you look like is not the point. When I'm talking about your life, the material wealth of it, the positioning of it, that this is not the sole point of who you are, but the people that really tune in. Their love is unconditional. Their support is unwavering. They pray for you when you don't even know it. There are people I know that pray for me. I know I'm living off some prayers. Sometimes I just give thanks like I don't even know who's out there wanting and wishing the best for me, but I know there are some people wanting and wishing, and I'm giving thanks for it. And I want us to be able to revel in that when it comes to our healing and our growth. And when we're looking back over our journeys and we're looking over our traumas and our childhoods and the things that we've gone through, I want us to look back in a way where we see who's there. We see who was there. We see who stayed. We see who didn't cause damage. We see who may have caused damage and rectified and brought my eye to that situation. When we talk about our hearts being light as a feather, we talk about those people that lift the load, right? The people that share the load of life and keep that heart light. And we want to revere them. They reflect to us a lot about us. And they reflect to us a lot about the risks and the chances and the engagements and the exchanges we'll take part in moving forward. So let's get into it, okay? Today we're going to get into genuine growth and how our day ones, how they contribute to that, our genuine growth. We're going to talk about honest accountability. Them day ones be doing that. And we're talking about not deviating from the drawing board. That's all day one energy. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into reflecting on the day ones. And I'm talking about when life is looking a little bit bleak, when you're looking a little bit confused, when you're questioning yourself about who you are, your standards, what you stand for, when you're falling short, when you're not. You know what I'm saying? When you're getting into a place of like, WTF, what is happening? I feel like I'm walking through this life in a bubble, in a bubble where the sounds and the sights are external and they're blurred and they're not clear. And it's because I'm protecting myself. And because I'm protecting myself, I have also shut off. I've isolated myself. And many of us do that. And I don't mean like, oh, we're depressed in a way that we shut down and we're not being functional. We're being gray and morbid and suicidal. It doesn't always look like that bubble walking. Sometimes that bubble walking does just looks like uncertainty, loneliness, fear, frustration, and we will begin to protect ourselves. So we'll begin to shut ourselves out and down from the world, what it all looks like. And the day ones, right? Reflecting on those, exchanging with those people who know you at your core, who love you unconditionally and for who you are. These are really great energies to exchange with. Sometimes it's just being around them. Listen, sometimes I sit around my people without even purging. And it's just like, you guys just reminded me of how strong I am. You guys remind me of how beautiful I am. You remind me of how valuable I am. You remind me of how important my role is in the whole grand scheme of things by just being important to me. And that's a big deal. So it is a lot of good work to stop and look at who's important to you. What type of people are these people that are important to you? Why are they important to you? And what about them makes them important to you? Because we're reflecting. This is all that life is doing. The sky and the ocean and the sky. We're reflecting. We're in a cycle of life, a life cycle. And so when I understand you more and I appreciate you more and I see you clearer, guess what it does? Helps me to appreciate me more and see me clearer and love me more. And it is a beautiful thing. So let's revere our roots, and let's look back on our day ones when we're getting into those places of, we've grown. We aren't the children we once were. We aren't the young people that we once were. And some of you may be young people still, but you're still at a level, and there's another level of where you were that you aren't anymore. And sometimes we get nostalgic about who we were, or we compare our future to our past. And genuine growth. Your day ones are great for genuine growth. Remember, I talked about as we continue to move through life and we explore, we can plug ourselves into, which means investing into other entities and energies and things, and we'll plug in in an investment of exploration. But just like we'll get the energy from them, because they will have a current that comes into us, we can become depleted. We can lose parts of ourselves, right? So there's parts of our foundations as we were growing, and we went to school and we tried new things and we tried different occupations. We may have invested in other religions or spiritual practices, and we just tried all these different things. But when we look back on our growth and we want to have a genuine perspective on the growth, we have to look back on how each person in our past is a reflection of a chapter of ourselves. I have day ones from middle school that remind me of my phases and stages. Like, can you believe we were doing X, Y, and Z? Or the way that we thought and the way we processed thought and the people that I poured into at that time. And the same thing when it comes to being a child and you have elementary friends, or your mom and your dad. These are day ones. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how y'all merging. Mom is always a day one. Okay, she probably is the day one of all the day ones. Dad, she was the day one before you first had a day. So before there was a birthday, she was the one. So she's at number one, day one, and that's always a good place to look back. Listen, regardless of how your relationship is or what that looks like, it's a good place to reflect when it comes to genuine growth. Who am I? This is what I come from. Sometimes you can look at a strong, beautiful, fierce woman, a woman that was resilient, a woman that was God-fearing, and you can say, like, wow, this is where I come from. And when I'm getting lost in my life, when I'm sitting here today wondering who cares about me, wondering what is going on with where I am, and what does my future look like, and what does my home life look like, and what does my social life look like, and I am complexed or frustrated or upset or any way about these things, it's a good place to look at this person that I came from. And even if that person wasn't the greatest person, for some of you, it might have been that person was she was abusing substances, or that person was in an abusive lifestyle or in risky or reckless lifestyles that you don't think was ideal for someone who was creating another person. Regardless of the connection is worth sanctifying. I don't care what type of connection it was. It reflects, we're in a reflection series, it reflects your resilience today. It reflects your brilliance today. It reflects your genuine growth. So the day ones become so vital to the genuine growth. There are times I'd be like, look, y'all know that the older harmony, a less mature harmony, a less centered harmony, I'd be worried about this, or what if I say this, or what if I make someone feel like that. And listen, it is that genuine growth that I crave. And I say genuine growth because, again, we go through all types of levels. We work at new jobs. We take on new projects. We're a part of different, compilations or collaborations. And we may think we're growing because we're moving up the ladder. We may think we're growing because our material world changes and enhances in some ways. Good morning, beautiful. We may always think that we're growing and becoming, but it is not until we look at day one. Right? It's not until we realize that there's beauty in our beginnings, not until we appreciate the beauty of our beginnings, that we get to the, oh, I'm sorry that is you having a bad connection. Not that the chat comes in. I know sometimes I'll look back at these videos and it looks like I'm talking to myself because the chats don't appear in on the video. But there's chats, guys. When Harmony looks crazy, it's because people are talking to me, and I love the energy, and I always talk back. So talk back to them. And then look, one of my day ones is on. Hi, boo boo. Today's session is entitled Reflect on Your Day One. And I'm talking about the external journey that you have with others, the external journey with those that know you and love you for who you are. So you pop right on in the right conversation. But yes, so when we talk about genuine growth, we're talking about there may be things in our lives that feel like, I mean, the marriages may be going on for a certain amount of years, and the children, they sure are sprouting. And life is just going, and we feel like it's growing until we're able to tap in with our day ones. And sometimes it's being able to have that sanctuary of day one, reflection, nostalgia, conversation, exchange, that puts you in a place of understanding like, dang, am I genuinely growing? Is my life growing? I know that it's going, but sometimes it's a reflection on what do we used to talk about? What is it that we used to say that we wanted? And who was I? You know, it's a big deal. Who was I before I was a mom? Who was I, before I was anyone's queen or potential queen or what have you? And for brothers, anyone's father or king or friend or whatever significant other. Who was I? Who was I before I was, big wig career person? Or who was I before I was a famous, whatever you are, poet, dancer, entrepreneur, mogul? But there's a genuine growth measure that comes with staying connected, showing reverence for your roots, and being in close sanctuary with your day one. Your day ones. And again, that talk we talked about how that can look like any place, that any chapter you want to start at. Many chapters have a day one. Each chapter will have someone there from the beginning. Excuse me. Such a lady. Excuse me. If you're very, very blessed, a lot of the chapters will have similar people all the way through and through. The same people, decades and decades and decades. You know what I'm saying? Serious day ones that always can be a measuring point and accountability when it comes to the day one. Reflect on your day one. Give love, give light. For those of us that feel, like I say, we get caught up in these slumps of life is just all this motion and life is just all this happening, and we start to feel invisible, and we start to feel unloved, and we start to feel underappreciated and undervalued. Reflect on your day one. What is it, the things that you guys talked about and you exchanged about, the things that you've grown through, the things that you didn't think was, oh my gosh, sometimes my people remind me of some crazy things. I thought I was the end of the world, and now I'm 37 years old, and when I look back, like, girl, you was tripping over nothing. But it shows me my genuine growth. Okay, your girl has 5 children. I have 3 children's fathers, and this is not, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, IJS, you know what I'm saying? Life be life. And so many journeys that I've had to be on, so many experiences that have been had, and it's so hard to always keep track of every single lesson and every single experience and everything you've made it through and everything you've accomplished and conquered within yourself to become whole and to heal and to rid yourself of things that are anchoring you or suffocating you or stagnating you. Listen, there was a lot, but there is nothing freeing like your day one being like, remember when you thought this was gonna never happen for you? Do you remember when you felt like you'll never trust again or love again? And remember when, it's those exchanges of like, look how far we've come. And look at how great and beautiful life is becoming for us. And I'm so grateful that I have you as a measure of the beauty of life. I'm so grateful that I have you as a measure of self. I want you to remember that your people around you are a measure of self. So as we get older, let us have discernment. Let us move in a way that is not people pleasing. Let us move in a way that is not quantitative over quality. But let us move in a way where everything around me should be reinforcing like a solar system. The people around you are the planets This is a solar system. This is a galaxy. Around me is a universe. And the people around me reinforce my purpose. They reinforce my greatness. And when you find yourself that you've reached a lid in a place where the people around you don't do that, where they begin to become depletive and exploitive like we talked about earlier, then it's time for you to know to graduate to another level of self and another level of surroundings. But you can always use, I have never made a decision about growing to another level without consulting my day ones, without looking at them, without going to them, without saying, look, this is where I am. And this is what I'm feeling. And this is what I'm going through. And this is what I'm thinking. And there is such a centeredness that takes place. There's such a grounding that takes place. Reflect on your day ones, guys. Sometimes when we're getting confused, we're getting frustrated, we're just so caught up in consulting self. Let me just talk to myself. Let me just sit with myself. Let me just be with myself. Nothing wrong with all of that. But sometimes it is necessary to sit with those who watch and love yourself. For those who know and appreciate and get yourself. So let me go and sit with my day ones. Let me consult with my day ones. Let me exchange. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary. It's a beautiful component to growth and becoming. So genuine growth is a great, great component to day one root reverence. Honest accountability. Now listen, your girl is special. Aqua energy all day. Aquarius gang gang. Stubborn. Okay, your girl is stubborn. Your girl is up in headspace. I'm up in the air all the time. Air element, gang gang. How y'all doing? I can not be easy to get through to. This may sound shocking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can be in the clouds. My head can be always in motion, and it is not easy for me to always see what others see. No, I ain't gonna say see. It's not easy for me to always care. Let's just be honest on the Moment of Harmony. It's not always easy for me to care what others see because I am in a different perspective. There are times that I feel like, I'm also pride myself on being self-correcting and self-actualizing and accountable for self and extremely in tune with my conscious and my centeredness. So these are things I consider, okay? So therefore, you can imagine that someone that thinks, feels, moves that way, if you want to talk to them about some things that you think they might need some help on or some things that they may need some guidance or support on in their life, that's probably very difficult to talk to that person. Listen, and so many people go wrong with it, right? And then the cutoff game is strong. I'll just be like, forget it. Don't worry. In one ear, not the other ear. I didn't make myself. I say all of that to say honest accountability externally can come very rare, and it can be very hard to obtain genuinely and in a way that you can digest it and receive it depending on who or what you are. When you are at a point in your life where you have taken responsibility for yourself, you take that responsibility very seriously. And you guard yourself and your exposures very carefully. Which means that when it comes to being held accountable, you don't always trust everything around you as being honest. You don't trust everything around you as being aware or in tuned. And so a lot of ways it's just like, I'll take what you say. I always tell this to everyone. It's not that I'm not listening. It's just that I'm going to take what you say back to my lab. Because, the mad scientist, air gang, I'm going to take this stuff as the mad scientist. I'm going to take it back to my lab and I'm going to dissect it and I'm going to look through it and I'm going to see what's for me and what's not for me and what's usable for my journey and what should be permissible to my spirit, and it's going to be a lot of work. So the honest accountability, especially when your journey is unique and your calling is grand, it's very difficult to get unbiased, genuine, unconditional, loving accountability. And so I don't want to put it all on us stubborn people that we just don't take it. I will also, there's a lot of manipulation and brokenness and pain and just resentment and low vibration that can come towards individuals who are taking more responsibility for themselves, who are growing themselves at rapid levels, and who are investing in themselves. You also can open yourself up to a lot of people who are not happy about that, who are uncomfortable with it because they haven't yet comprehended that for themselves. So it's hard to be in a situation sometimes and you're needing to really know what's going on with you. What am I needing to be held to? What standard, what level of growth, what prescription of life should I be digesting, consuming in order to get myself into a better space and a better headspace? Child, that ain't hard. That is not easy. I'm gonna say it's not hard, it's hard. It's not easy to do. It's not easy for me. But reflecting on the day one is a great way to get honest accountability. Going back through your journey with the people that you journeyed with is a great way to look at yourself and see patterns. Child, patterns just been whipping up on your girl. It's a great way to see patterns. It's a great way to be able to take in like the trauma that you kind of put band-aids on, things that you run away from, things that you avoid or ignore out of fear, out of pain, out of exhaustion. But really, the honest accountability really comes in with the looking back on your day ones. Like, look back on the people that I hung with and the people that I trusted and the people that I know. There's so many times when I can be in this life and I get really exhausted. You guys, I'm a single mom. I'm an EI now. The things that I put myself into with these ambitions of mine, you know what I'm saying? It just, it can be a lot. And there are times when you can begin to get lost in all the sauce. You get lost in other people. You get lost in other energy. You get lost in your schedule and your routines. And it's hard to see the what I want when you're caught up in the what I have to do's, right? But sometimes I look just back at my day ones and I'm like, man, this is a beautiful person that loves me. And this is a beautiful person that never gave up on me. And this is a beautiful person that never has hurt me or caused me pain. This is a beautiful person that have let me, her lap and her love unconditionally. And it makes me go and say like, dang, someone really great and beautiful and sound loves you through all of this. So it helps me to be like, what is it that was expected of me personally? What is it that was expected of me by people that know me? And it is honest accountability. Because of the people that I love and the people that love me, I know that there are certain things I should and should not be connected to, certain energies I should be occupying or not occupying. I have been so low and sad that I've been ashamed. I've been ashamed looking at the people that love me. Like, why? Why do you feel this way? Why are you this upset? Why are you feeling defeated or depleted? Or why are you feeling like throwing in the flag and putting your hands up high? It has been the reflection on the people that love me. It is sitting in exchange with the people that love me the most that had really made me see myself again. That really made me see myself from an honest place of accountability. You know better. You remind me of my children and oh my God, listen. This motherhood journey, this thing, child, I need a whole nother moment for that. But it has been the people that knew me before I was a mother, or knew me in the beginnings of my motherhood, or knew me in these times that remind you of who you are in this journey, what you've done, what you've instilled, remind you. Just listen. My advice, my exchange, my lesson as well as my expression, my lesson as well as my expression is to reflect on your day one. Tune into the people that love you. Tune into the people that know you. You'll get some genuine growth there. You'll get some honest accountability. for yourself, you'll be able to look and say, you know what, I do know better than thinking like this, than feeling like this. What you won't do is give up. What you're not about to do is downplay your talents and your gifts and your beauty. What you're not going to do is start thinking small and living small. Reflect on your day ones. Reflect on those in your journey that have made your journey, a big part of your journey. And then, last but not least, don't deviate from the drawing board. Now, a lot of times we get in life and we say, I have to, and I'm so sorry, y'all. The weather is changing, which, we're in the fall equinox and things are changing with the weather, and I'm getting some little bit of sniffles. So excuse me being all unladylike with the sniffling, But don't deviate from the drawing board, meaning that there's a lot of times in life where we start to feel like back at the drawing board. We've worked so hard in our careers. We worked so hard in our personal relationships. We worked so hard in just many different areas of who we are. Maybe our fitness and health journeys. We just and then something can happen. Something can take place that changes us, changes our course, changes our mind, and we feel like we're back at the drawing board. And this causes so much low vibration. Frustration and doubt and disappointment. Just being back at the drawing board, starting all over, doing everything anew. This is where day one reflection becomes very, very beneficial. When you're starting to feel down on yourself because a chapter has ended and there's time to start another chapter, a chapter didn't go the way you wanted to go, or resulted in the results that you intended or desired. Let's not deviate so much from the drawing board, and we won't have to drop so far when we feel like we're back at it. I'm not saying we don't progress and we don't grow and we don't have game plans that work out and take us to mountaintops. I'm saying yes. I'm saying instead of leaving the drawing board where it is, you take the drawing board with you. You frequent revision. You frequent reminders of yourself and your journey and what you're going. A lot of times as a writer, I'll write my outline and I'll fill it in with my content, and then the outline is the outline. It's before the rough draft and your pre-draft and your final draft, so it's like the beginning. But what happens if my outline stays with me in the rough draft, and it stays with me in my final draft, and it's with me in my submission? Meaning that I don't have to get so far away from my outline. Therefore, when it's time to go back and revisit it, right? When there's been something that didn't launch, or an energy that hasn't taken place, a spark that didn't happen, something that didn't go the way you were intending it for it to go, and you're feeling back, like you're going back. These are where your day ones come in. They come in and they're great and they're wonderful because the day one keeps your drawing board close. Right? There's so many times when I'm just like, look, I've worked so hard to get this promotion, and this is where I am, and this is what they want me to do next, and this is what they're asking for me, and this, and the load is growing in. And the day ones, the besties, the family, the siblings, they're there to remind you, like, look, you remember when you didn't even have a car? Do you remember when you had to catch the bus to do such and such and such? The stuff that stays at furthest away from your brain with a lot of life when you keep lifing and you keep living. The stuff you can't remember from 15 and 16 years ago. Do you remember when you just couldn't wait, or you needed and you were like in dire need of this opportunity and you prayed for it? This is a manifestation. That's the day one. That's a day one that reminds you of that. You asked for this platform. You asked for this marriage. You asked for this child. You can handle this journey because you manifested it. And this is the day one that allows you to not deviate so much from your drawing board. So when you're getting to the point of being frustrated and you're getting to the point of just feeling low and you're getting to the point of just like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what's becoming. The things that make me me, the things that I'm used to, I'm at a new level. I'm in a new season. I'm at a new point in a new place. And everything just seems so different for me. And I'm moving differently and I'm feeling differently and it's very uncomfortable for me. Reflect on your day ones. Go back and revere your roots. It's okay to stop and say, remind me of who I am and why I'm here. Remind me of what it is that I contribute and that I bring to the world. See, a lot of us feel like we don't need that all the time. We feel like we do. But here's the thing. We start to get caught up in our things, in our shoes, and our clothes, and our cars, and our houses, our checks, and how much they cost, and our salaries. We get caught up in who's liking us and who's loving us and we caught up in these things that start to make us feel important when the day one, right? When you were important to your day ones before you were a mom or a dad, before you had these things, before you had these accomplishments, before you were who you are today, there was a day one. There's beauty in your beginnings. I'm here to remind everyone today that there is beauty in your beginnings. Those things that we forget, those things that we've grown out of and moved past, there is beauty in those things. Where are your day ones? Where are the people that know you and love you before you were the person that you are making yourself into today? They will help you, reflect to you, remind you, and encourage you towards the person you are meant to become. They are a vital, integral component to the becoming of yourself. These day ones, right? Shout out to the day ones. Reverence to those people that loved you before you were who you were. Those people that see you and get you and understand you. Reflect on them. Use them. Love them. Appreciate them. Spend solid time with them. Ashe. Look at that. Look at me. This is my bestie saying that her and her sister were just talking about our beginnings this morning. It's a part of the healing journey. I'm trying to tell you. And look at us being all aligned, divinely aligned and such. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of your healing journey. It's a part of your becoming journey. The beginning is vital to the becoming. Your beginnings are vital to your becoming. And so we want to be able to look in on those things. So in the life you're in today, your big old age, all you've been through, all you've made it through, all you've experienced, all you are, never get so big, never get so old, never get so wise that you stop looking back at it, right? That you forget to look back on your day one with your day ones. That you forget to look back at your drawing board and that you revise your outline even though you're filling it with content. That you remember how it started. And then how it started helps you keep it going. Day ones are so important and great for that. So being lost where you are, feeling confused where you are, feeling frustrated where you are, not feeling like yourself, not feeling important, not feeling loved, not feeling noticed, whatever it is that may be stalling your growth and healing and your journey to self-love and becoming, I promise you that holding sacred space was your day ones. And some of your day ones are in the spiritual realm. I know that some people's really like the people, they hit us. They hit us in a spiritual place, right? In the realm. And the thing is, look, like in the movie Shaq, I always love that. I always bring up when why am I cracking my knuckles? Sorry, guys. Oh, lady, like, what is it? I'm trying to think of the movie. Shaft. Samuel Jackson plays Shaft. And I always talk about how he was like, how he was a rough cop. and he had gotten fired from the force for some risky business or what have you. But he continued to like fight crime and go after solving this case. And he had jacked this guy up one day, and the guy was like, "You're not even a police officer anymore. You can't, you're not even on the force anymore." And he goes like, "Does that make me more dangerous? Or does that make me less dangerous or more dangerous?" But it was a line that I loved, and it's one that stays with me. But all of that to say, that's how we are with our spiritual realm. Right? When we talk about our loved ones, our day ones, your grandmothers and your mothers and your friends and those that you love and you first love or what have you, that may be in a spiritual realm. Listen, does that make them less effective or more effective? Right? So just know that consulting with your day one, going to the people that know you best, that love you the most, that is what's going to help you continue to look inside of yourself and grow yourself and move yourself. There has to be an appreciation and an alignment with who you were before you can ever, ever, ever get to who you'll be. So I love you all so very much. Thank you for joining me for another Moment of Harmony. I will see you next week. Shout out to Dan and Chipo for their wedding that's tomorrow. I am so excited to play my part and to big up homegirl today. And then also, there's something else really big happening today. Sir Mujasi is becoming an author today. He is doing a book release. And I think Mujasi is only 6. So look, these Fatu boys are doing big things. So big love and shout out to that. Y'all will be in the place. I love you all so very much. And I look forward to having another moment with you next week. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep that momentum going for the moment.